texting is not a measure of connection or intimacy within a relationship. This one is for my anxious attachers out there. If you're struggling with a possible avoidant partner or situationship, then it's probably time to realign your expectations. If you're new to my content, my name is Charlie, and I share advice and knowledge to help other people start healing their attachment styles. Many anxious attachers say that one of their biggest challenges in connection with an avoidant is usually around their inconsistency with communication. I'll commonly hear things like, when we're together, it's totally fine. We can talk for hours on end and never stop. When we're apart, I don't hear from him, sometimes hours, maybe even days. Let's do a quick little history lesson here. The very first cell phone was invented in 1984, a totally unplanned and coincidentally Orwellian date. That same year, the concept for texting was first developed, and the first text message was sent on December 3rd, 1992. Before all of this, the only way people could communicate was by picking up a landline phone or talking in person. So the fact that we now have access to people 24/7 only makes the anxious attachment style that much more difficult to navigate in the modern world, especially in the modern dating scene. If you think that connection is built through text, you're wrong. Connection is started online and through text, but it is fostered in person for the long term. Most people are so busy that they don't have time to foster connection over text message. If you have an anxious attachment style, you probably shouldn't give people that much access to you that soon. It only makes your attachment style harder to manage. Many anxious attachers don't realize that while they're in the dating scene, the reason they love texting so much is because they actually need reassurance on a recurring basis. And then when you combine that with the psychological dopamine hit you get from a phone and seeing someone's name appear on your screen, that makes it even more addicting. So what can people with an anxious attachment style do, especially if they're in the dating scene and they're just trying to get to know people? Well, it's important to consider that we use things like SMS, texting, DMs as a means of having short and quick conversations with people. At least we should. I would not recommend using texting as your primary means of getting to know someone. Now, when it comes to feeling like you need constant updates from your person, or you just genuinely like those updates throughout the day, you can communicate that need. You can find someone who is willing to meet those needs. Maybe they even share that same idea of what they need as well. And that is completely fine. But chances are, until you find that person, if you even do, you're going to find people that have other ideas of how much communication they want, and most importantly, how much communication they need, because those are two different things. That's why when you're getting to know someone, it's really important to talk about your needs around communication. Do you like good night and good morning texts, or can you just not be bothered with texting at all? These are things that we need to be figuring out, because these are linked to our core values and our core needs within relationships. And this is how we can begin to develop the type of profile of a potential partner that would better meet our needs, rather than many, we'll say, superficial qualities that most dating apps are built on. So that was a little rant of why I think texting really isn't that important within a relationship. There are definitely needs when it comes to texting. I personally love good morning texts, love good night texts, but I don't need to be texting someone every hour of every day. And personally, I don't think I would be able to handle being in a relationship with someone like that. And that's my needs. But your needs may be totally different. And it's really important to just take the time to self-reflect on these needs as you are going through the dating scene.